It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. And love and tradition of the grand design, some people say, is even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls. 'Cause all I see is the tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene. We're gonna fill our house with happiness, but we'll smother the blues with tenderness. There's room for you, room for me, for gentle hearts and opportunity. It's the bigger love of the family.
Good morning. This is Back to the Shack on Spreaker. I am your host, Big Bad Boy Galuki, and this is episode 19. One away from 20. Damn, how far have I come? I mean, it seems like only yesterday that I was doing 15-minute episodes, and now I'm doing 45-minute episodes. Good times, good times. All right. We'll go right to what's happening in the world. I was sick yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to talk about the incarceration of Bill Cosby, the disgraced comedian. The guy that is basically the butt of all jokes on social media. And quite honestly, I don't agree with his sentencing. I don't. 3 to 10 years to an 81-year-old man is like basically sentencing the poor guy to death. I don't want to say poor guy because the guy deserves to be either on house arrest or in prison, but not in a federal penitentiary. I would say minimum security prison. Because he's 81 years old, how far can he get? He's legally blind, he's feeble, and can't really even look after himself. And it's funny because the jury's like, oh, he's likely to reoffend. The first allegation dates back to 1965. He's 81 years old, and he's feeble, and he's senile. Do you actually think he remembers actually doing any of these allegations? They're all allegations. They're all allegedly happened. There's no proof behind them. But it's because he was a celebrity. And that's the way the world works now, is if you want to get famous by any means necessary, you either go on, I want to say, kind of like a variety show format, like The Voice, American Idol, America's Got Talent. You go on those shows, and it's basically instant stardom. And it's kind of insulting when there's so many musicians that struggle year after year. Like, I just want to use Soundgarden as an example. Because when they came out back in the late 80s, all they did up to Super Unknown, they toured. They toured constantly. They did American tours, European tours, Canadian tours. They went even as far as Japan and did an Asian leg tour. It's brutal. It's so brutal to think that that's what our society has become, is that the way to get famous, even marginally, is to basically slander a senile old bastard who will become Bubba's Puddin' Pop in the shower. It's funny to think that Bill Cosby would be getting raped at 81 years old. I'm like, and when they said that he's more likely to reoffend, I'm like, he can't see. So for all you know, he's drugging a dog and fucking it. For all we know, that's what he's doing. He can't see. He's legally blind. You can take him to a prison and just say, hey, Bill, you're home. Oh, fuck. And it's sad because I grew up, it's really, really fucked up because I grew up watching The Cosby Show and growing up with the Huxtables, and then even watching his movie career. The only movie I really remember is Ghost Dad, which, in my opinion, was a great fucking movie. It was a good movie, and I remember watching it as a kid and watching it with my little cousins growing up and being like, this is a good movie. I haven't been able to watch it lately, but I'm pretty sure if I watch it now, I'll be like, wow, this movie is just fucking terrible. This is like all kinds of shit in one bag. Oh, but it's good that it's over, though. But the sentencing, 3 to 10 years, that is just too much. He's 81. He looks like he's going to drop in like 2 weeks. And you sentence him to 3 to 10 years in prison. You're just hoping that he has a heart attack when he gets off that fucking bus, aren't you? Aren't you? Aren't you, America? Fucking United States. Well, oh, don't worry. Don't get me started on the United States. I'll be touching on the whole Donald Trump refusing a face-to-face meeting with Justin Trudeau over the North American Free Trade Agreement. And Donald Trump really needs to figure shit out because, one, North America does not include Mexico. Mexico is South America. Learn your geography. Fuck. Like, shit, man. It's like, how is he president if he doesn't even know that Mexico isn't even part of North America? It isn't. It goes New Mexico, then it goes Panama, then there's the Panama Canal, then there's the rest of Panama, then there's Mexico, Argentina, Brazil. Where on North America is Mexico? And the United States has a really bad habit of this, of just claiming, like, parts of countries. Like, they took Alaska from Canada. It's not even attached to the United States, but it's America's. They bought it out. That's because Canada wasn't fucking thinking. Because guess who was in office at that time? Probably a liberal. Oh, there's free money there. We'll sell that piece of land there. Even though it holds a lot of gold and oil resources, we'll sell that land to the States, who will just completely rape it. Makes perfect fucking sense. And it's kind of like it's going, you can see a trend. You can really see a trend. I'll be talking more about Justin Trudeau and his pointless frickin' attacks against our country. Like, he doesn't do it on a physical or emotional basis. He does it mentally. He mentally fucks with Canada. Especially from the prairies to BC. He completely fucks with us. He completely ignores the territories up north. Completely ignores them. But we'll get to that later. So this is kind of like a political-driven broadcast today. I entitled it Family Matters because as a Canadian, you're basically attacking the family values. This is what the United States are doing. They're basically saying, hey, Canada, we're tired of you piggybacking off of us. It's time to pay the river. Like, it doesn't work like that. If we're a solid continent, like North America is, we should not have to build tariffs since the early 80s to protect our resources. You should not have access to our resources at all. We're being kind to you by selling you our resources for a marked up price. Because, one, you're not farming. You're not taking care of the wheat, the barley, the canola, and doing all the agriculture side, taking care of the pigs, slaughtering the pigs, butchering the pigs, or doing any of that. That all happens in Canada, and then we ship it to you for a price. And yet you're saying, oh, that's too much. Well, maybe you should stop fighting pointless wars, like the war on drugs, war on terror, war against media, war against this, war against food, war against fatty foods, war against fast foods. There's so many wars in America that are fucking pointless. And yet you're wasting billions and trillions of dollars on them. But then you go to NAFTA and be like, oh, this is just a waste of money. Fuck you, Trump. Here's what I was taught and raised by. If it's not broke, don't fucking fix it. Leave it alone. I'm just trying to figure out what clip I want to segue into. We'll go with this one.
Hello, everyone. I'm Anton Phillips, president of Phillips Motors. We'll return in a moment to the Channel 11 movie matinee, but I'm right here with you live to show you a great batch of luxury automobiles, like this one-year-old Cadillac DeVille, priced right at $36,000, fully loaded, V8 engine, standard, shock-resistant CD player, standard.
Hey, the trunk looks kind of small there, Anton.
This is live. I'm on live TV. Trunk's fine. As you can see, friend, it's not small. It's a big trunk. I'll show you right here.
Whoa, you got a dead hooker in the trunk.
What? No, it can't be.
Yes, it was. It was a dead hooker.
It wasn't a dead hooker!
Pal, I know a dead hooker when I see one.
What's happening? Hey, folks, come on
Hey,
down.
hey, here's another dead hooker in this trunk.
What?
Oh, my goodness.
What are you doing?
I've never seen so many dead hookers in all my life.
Lord knows I have.
I can remember a time.
Hey, look. There's Mitch on TV.
Oh, yeah. There's Mitch.
And there's the Saigon whore that bit my nose off!
These are nice cars. These are luxury automobiles. I got a whole place. They're fully loaded.
They're loaded with dead hookers.
Not either. You're seeing things. Don't shoot this. This is not part of the commercial.
Is some jerk making your life miserable? You want revenge? Call 555-0187 and let us do your dirty work.
And we're clear.
Wake up, slut! Well, well, well. We meet again. Nosebiter! Time to pay the fiddler, whore!
Oh, jeez. A little clip from one of my favorite movies, Dirty Work. Norm Macdonald, Artie Lang at their finest. And I've been watching Norm Macdonald's talk show on Netflix, and it's about fucking time they gave a Canadian a talk show. Like, who did we really have as talk show host? We had a fucking filthy sock named Ed the Sock, and that was late at night. And then we had Mike Bullard, who wasn't even funny, who'd, even if his jokes weren't, like, he would always snicker and he would always look like he was about to poop. That's Mike Bullard. I'm sorry, Mike. Some of your jokes are freaking hilarious, but most of the times when they're not funny, you give it away by kind of, like, looking like you're about to poop. Like, if you're gonna shit. That's all I gotta say, really. Alright, so, we've been talking about, NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. Oh my god, like, what a fucking mess. So, Justin Trudeau wants to negotiate the NAFTA agreement. Donald Trump refuses because he doesn't like Trudeau. What the fuck is this, high school? Is this high school politics, or is this like, you two running two fucking countries? One's a fucking greedy fuck, and one wants to and the other wants to fix the stability of Canada's economy. One, Trudeau's going about it all the wrong way, because if I was Trump, I'd look at what Trudeau has done to benefit Canada. Let's see here. Let's just list this off, what he's done to benefit Canada. He changed our national anthem, which cost a lot of fucking money to do, and it kind of pissed off a lot of people that were in the war, or family members of the people that were in World War II that lost their lives. That's why that one lyric was in there. He paid $10.5 million to a known terrorist for America's mistreatment of that prisoner in Guantanamo Bay, and the prisoner wound up spending, I think it was 3 months in Canada, in a Canadian prison, but wasn't wrongfully treated in Canada. But because Trudeau's a pussy and very sympathetic to terrorists, he shelled out $10.5 million to that terrorist for basically to say sorry. I have a huge issue with this, because if you don't recall, David Milgaard was wrongfully sentenced to prison. He spent almost 20 years jumping between